At the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watch, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the
looks like Ursa.
Are the Battlehawks Freedom Akinmaladun and Chase Allen.
Buchanan, you with me?
Hello, sir. Mr. Pereira.
We are going to have a great game.
An object in motion stays in motion. Momentum is everything.
Are we done yet? Put your foot on your throat and dominate!
The playoff-bound Battlehawks aim to sharpen their claws after a gritty win against the defending champs.
Stand out of the air!
With their eyes on the UFL title.
Big Hakeem Butler delivers! Touchdown, Battlehawks!
The Brahmas look to prove they still have bite with a chance to wreak havoc.
H. Morgan, Gray, Dr. Pepper.
Looking at man open, he's got it! Stylianos does connect for 6!
Can they once again knock off the league's elite?
Touchdown, San Antonio!
Or does St. Louis grind out another win at home in the deafening dome?
What a shoulder put on here in St. Louis!
San Antonio Brahmas, St. Louis Battlehawks. Next on Fox.
It's time to kick off Week 9 of the UFL as the San Antonio Brahmas visit the St. Louis Battlehawks on the banks of the Mississippi in St. Louis. No team in the UFL has more victories than the hometown Battlehawks. No team plays in front of more fans than the one from St. Louis. And they can begin celebrating right now because they do know their Battlehawks are already into the playoffs. They still have a chance to win the XFL Conference with only 2 games left, including tonight's against the Brahmas. Time now for Agent Force Playmakers Insights, powered by Salesforce AI. What are the key player matchups in tonight's game, Joel Klatt?
Let's take a look at the quarterbacks first. For San Antonio, Kellen Mond, he's going to step back into the starting role. Kevin Hogan had been playing the last few weeks, but Mond, who was their original starter, is back in the lineup, going to step in. Now on the St. Louis side, it's Max Duggan, 4-0 as a starter. We remember that great run he had for TCU to the national championship, and he's on a similar style run here with St. Louis, undefeated as the starter. The running backs also, it's a great matchup for San Antonio. Jashawn Corbin, back-to-back 100-yard games. He's been tremendous the last couple of weeks. And then Jacob Saylors, last week's Offensive Player of the Week here in the UFL. He had 118 yards in that big win against Birmingham. Those are the insights powered by Agent Force. It's what AI was meant to be.
Oh, it's time to get the Memorial Day weekend party started with a little football for you. The UFL from St. Louis with kickoff right after this.
Looking good, Dev. Can't go wrong with that. Look at you, just looking like a politician. Navy blue and a white shirt.
I said just do blue. That's what I said. I said, you know what, Joe cannot say anything about blue.
Go blue. Gotcha, Mike P. How are you, sir?
I'm doing terrific.
Mr.
And
Pereira.
you?
We're doing great, man.
Good to hear your voice.
Good. You'll hear it off and on today.
Yeah, hopefully not often, but yes.
Yes, right.
Less is more.
You got it.
One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Thank you.
Well, the Battlehawks have had the best home field advantage in the UFL this season. It's an end zone. Max Duggan. Looking for it all, and a beautiful strike. Butler, touchdown, Battlehawks. This is going to be a fun one.
Let the fun begin here on Fox UFL Friday night, presented by Pizza Hut. Inside the Dome in St. Louis, Devin Gardner standing by with the Battlehawks head coach, Anthony Becht.
Thanks, Kurt. Coach, playoffs are clinched. You know who you're playing. So on the onset, people would say there's not much to play for. But when we spoke earlier this week, you outlined a plethora of things that can be accomplished. Speak to those things for the fans.
Well, first, we got to finish the journey, right? I mean, this is a journey we're on. We only get 10 regular season. We've given ourselves another opportunity. We got 4 left in our minds. We want them all. It's a big game for guys because you never know when the tape's going to get turned on and they're going to get looked at. So, listen, we got to come in with a winner's mentality. We got a lot to work on. I need all 3 phases to come together for one game before we get into the playoffs. Hopefully it's today.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
And so Anthony Becht will go head-to-head with Peyton Pardee, the interim head coach of the Brahmas. Of course, Wade Phillips started off the year after leading them to the playoffs last season and took a leave of absence for health reasons. Pardee moved up from wide receivers coach to offensive coordinator. and then the head coach for the last 5 games, Joel.
Well, listen, it's not an easy task that he was thrown right in the middle of, and yet he's done a really nice job. And I will tell you, San Antonio, their best games of the year have been in their last 2 games. They have not won those ball games, but they have been awfully close.
Well, they get a good open field tackle to start this one. Devontae Beckett upends Gary Jennings, and so Max Duggan will get to work deep in his own territory.
Well, Max Duggan, 4-0 as a starter. This is a guy with all the competitive toughness that you would possibly want. He has been tremendous for them, really. Now, he has leaned into them becoming a predominantly run-oriented team, and I think they're the best rushing team in the UFL. Between Jacob Saylor standing right next to him, number 15, and Max, that is a dangerous backfield in the ground.
Starting from the 20, Duggan to the air. Right away, hit as he throws, but gets it out to Butler, and Hakeem Butler with a short reception. Castillo on the stop. Who should we keep an eye on with St. Louis on offense?
Well, I've already mentioned Sailors, and then there's Butler with the first catch of the game right there on the outside. Those two are excellent players. Now, defensively, Beckett and Emili for San Antonio. Watch out for them. Devontae Beckett, the UFL's leading tackle man, so he is always around the football, number 1 for San Antonio.
6 yards on the first down, 2nd and 4. Duggan, back-to-back passes, going deep, and it is caught. Ja'Cour Pearson. Big play for a first down, and St. Louis coming out throwing out of the gate, something they usually don't do. 24 on that one.
Tell you, what a great route. First, he's going to go inside before he goes back outside. A bit of a corner there. He puts the foot in the ground, and he gets back out there. And what they want to see out of Max Duggan is him continue to anticipate down the field. You see that elongated delivery? Well, because of that long delivery, he's got to make those decisions quickly in the backfield and anticipate those windows to get the ball down there.
First run of the game, Jacob Saylors cuts his way back. Gain of just about 5 yards on first down.
I'll tell you, Sailors was tremendous last week. I already mentioned Offensive Player of the Week last week, Kurt. 16 carries, 118 yards, and that was against Birmingham's #1 rush defense in the league. So he showed out. He was tremendous.
You see his numbers, #1 rushing, #1 from scrimmage, and tied for the most touchdowns. One of the guys he's tied with is his quarterback, Max Duggan.
Here we go, we're good. 180.
They fake the handoff. That one's complete to Sailors right at that first down marker. And St. Louis is marching.
I'll tell you, this is exactly what Anthony Beck wanted, is to see continued development and continued growth from his quarterbacks, Max Duggan, excuse me. And now we already see this. They come out throwing the football. I told you that they've been primarily run-oriented, and Kurt, they've come out here and clearly tried to establish Max as a thrower. And 3 passes, only 1 running attempt so far in the first 4 snaps.
Just the opposite of what they've done with him as quarterback so far. And this is 5th start. Little end around Jennings. Cuts it back. Good run of 9 yards. Make it 8 officially by Gary Jennings. But another big chunk play.
Well, what I love here is the action. You get a tight end this way, you get Sailors this way, and then you bring this, what I would call this little Vegas-style reverse right back out there, and a nice peel back by the tight end, Chase Allen. Now he's leading up there. Even though he doesn't get a block, it's a nice job of the formation, the motion, and the movement. And Jennings is up there. Nice quality run on first.
And another short 2nd down.
180.
Sailors dancing. He's going to be stopped. Picks up just a yard on the play. Jordan Williams in there on the tackle.
All right, so if you're Anthony Beck, what you're telling Phil McGagan, the offensive coordinator, is do I have 1 snap to get this first down, or do I have 2? You know, are we going to go for it on 4th? And then that's going to inform Phil McGagan what he needs to do, wants to do on this 3rd down play call.
Here we go. Set on. This man. 180.
Sailors gets the first down. They needed 1. He got about 2.5. Moves the chains, and St. Louis keeps rolling.
Quality series here for this St. Louis team. And again, what Coach Beck wanted to see is this offense come out in particular and play well, because the offense they've been the one lagging, right? The defense for St. Louis has been outstanding. A San Antonio team comes in with Peyton Pardee. They're 1-7. And he wanted this Battlehawks offense to kind of prove that they are developing and continue to grow.
Sailors on the 8th play of this opening drive, short 3-yard gain. I mean, this has been a struggle for a lot of this season for St. Louis. You see this, no touchdowns on their opening drive, 3 points total.
Here we go. Hey, south, left, F, fly, fake, 18 delta, on warning. Yes. Pistol. Hey, no, key. Set out. Key. Wide 80, wide side.
Give it to Pearson. Tries to use his speed to get around the corner out to the 20-yard line. They'll measure it right there. Let's listen to the call on third down.
South left F surge 50 H Buccaneer Y hammer. South left F surge 50 H Buccaneer Y hammer.
Here you go. Hey, south left F surge 50 H Buccaneer Y hammer. On warning. Sit out.
You blocked already, guys.
180. Right side.
Out of the backfield, Sailors, another first down, spin move, and he gets it inside the 10. And this is an impressive opening drive by the Battlehawks.
What I really love is the formation, Kurt, because watch, you're going to have the back on this side, and yet he's going to be in the flat over on the offense's right. He's going to get lost. That's almost impossible to cover from a defensive perspective just because of alignment. If he's on the right side of the quarterback, that entire side of the defense is going to be aware of him, as they would call him kind of the third wide receiver to that side. But as he's set up on the opposite side of the quarterback, he's lost in coverage. It's wide open, and that's an easy completion for Duggan.
Here we go.
First and goal from the 9. Sailors dancing. Boy, he was that close to breaking free.
Don't you love his patience? You know, when he just kind of sits in there. Once he gets the football, it's not a pause, but there's this float aspect to the way that he moves up to the line of scrimmage. And then he picks his gap, and then he explodes and accelerates once he's decisive about his cut. And here he's going to be replaced by Jarvion Howard.
First break of the game. Sailors are taking the ball 7 of the first 11 plays. Now he gets a breather. Howard in. Howard gets the carry and fights his way for just a couple yards. Here's another third down.
11. All right, let's go. Trips right 78 F snag both fade. Trips right 8 F snag both fade.
Here we go. Hey, trips right 78 F snag both fade. Don't worry.
Both. That's outside receivers. And if I hear fade and I got that guy, I'm like, do I have one-on-one or not? So he's going to be reading are these two players going to take away the fade? Probably. So he's going to read this opposite side. I bet you he goes this direction.
And he does for Hakeem Butler. Off his chest. Incomplete. Good coverage by Sean Fresh there to make it a contentious attempt at a catch, and Butler couldn't do it.
That's excellent coverage right here. First, he gets his arms kind of wrapped around him here, probably gets away with that, and then he's got contact through the chest all the way up to the catch point. I think he gets away with that contact right there because that is impeding Butler's ability to come back and catch that ball. No flag, though, and Fresh is able to jog off the field as they're going to attempt a field goal here.
Yeah, so they're going to settle to take the points. Rodrigo Blankenship on a kick it from 21 yards away, and St. Louis gets the first score of the game. An impressive drive, but it is stopped inside the 5-yard line by San Antonio's defense. St. Louis settles for the field goal, and it's 3-0 here at the beginning of this Week 9 matchup. And now Above and Beyond, brought to you by Jersey Mike's. A lot of good teams this season in the UFL, but only 4 have been picked to play the playoffs. Remember Schoolyard picking the teams? Michigan at 6-2, they lead the UFL in scoring, second in yards per game. Birmingham, the defending champs, at 5-3, best scoring defense and total defense of the league. DC is 6-2, they lead the UFL in yards per game and have the most sacks on D. While this St. Louis team, also 6-4, they lead the league in rushing and interceptions. And there you have your UFL playoff field for 2025. And Anthony Beck trying to get his team back there for the second season in a row.
I mean, he wants his yards and touchdowns. I mean, shit.
What a drive. 14 plays, 77 yards. Settle for that field goal. I think Coach Beck at the end of that series said we did so many good things. You know, he wanted the payoff of points there. So sent out Blankenship, got the 3, and then we'll see Mond on the field after this.
So San Antonio will touch it for the first time tonight. Jashawn Corbin. And Corbin gets stopped just across the 20-yard line, and now Kellen Mond gets to go to business.
Well, Mond was the original starter for this San Antonio team, and then Kevin Hogan stepped in for the last 3 games and played, and in the 5 previous before that, Mond was 56%. 597 yards, couple of touchdowns, couple of interceptions. You know, they thought when they brought him in this offseason that he was going to provide them with a little lift in the run game and the ability to scramble around. But, you know, Kurt, that never really materialized. And, you know, he was more of a pocket guy.
And he hands it off to Corbin on first down. And Corbin with a nice run of 13 right out of the gate. Well, I'm assuming he may be one of your players to watch, especially after that.
No doubt. Jashawn Corbin, John Trey Kirkland, both of these guys have electric ability on the offensive side. And then I don't think that there's a better tandem of defensive end pass rushers in the UFL than Pita Taumapenu and Travis Feeney. They were absolutely sensational last week. Feeney with the big strip, forced fumble. Penu, he leads the league in sacks, 4 in his last 3 games. They've been tremendous.
And they bring the pressure right now as Mond completes his first pass. John Trey Kirkland fighting for a couple of extra yards, give them 8. And it brings up second down with Mond off to the kind of start they wanted him to get off to. Well, nice and smooth, nice and easy.
And he's looking to the guys that he should. You know, they're the players to watch for a reason. Jashawn Corbin probably playing the best offensive football of anybody in the UFL, at least of late. Back-to-back 100-yard games. You look at Kirkland out there a couple of weeks ago, 7 catches. Last week, only a catch. So good to get him in rhythm right away here on the opening series.
Blitz coming. Corbin runs right through it and picks up the first down.
What I love about what San Antonio does on offense for Corbin, see, he's a slashing style
deuce
runner.
Right, firm, red F swing, D's, Z snap.
And when you've got a slasher like that, Corbin, you know, it's very different than Sailors on the opposite side, who's a searcher. He's searched, so you want to get in tight and you want to have tight ends and let him pick the gaps so you create more gaps. Well, with Corbin, who's a slasher, you spread out. And more times you can spread out and get the defense spread out, then he can slash into those vulnerabilities and gaps in the defense.
Come on. Zips that one. Good pace on it. Out to Kirkland and another first down. John Trey Kirkland had 1 catch last week. He hasn't had a lot this year for a guy who was one of the big weapons on offense last year, but he's making it up tonight.
What I love here is that this is just a simple curl flat, but the tight end running right down the middle of the field walls off the middle linebacker. So that's just so easy. We used to call that in the old West Coast Z curl Y go. That's all the 22 Z curl Y go. You can run it out of basic formations, and it's such an easy read off of that play side linebacker, and you wall off the middle linebacker with that go ball.
10 yards on that play. Corbin. Jashawn Corbin dancing around, picking up 4. You know, I mean, here's a guy.
Offenses in rhythm, aren't they?
It really is. And I was going to say about Corbin, it's almost like they stumbled into him.
Yeah, I know.
You know, Anthony McFarland, the former Steeler, was the guy at the beginning of the year. Then they went to Aiden Robbins.
Remember John
Lovett from last year?
It was Lovett and McFarland really were the 2 guys. Lovett went down, and it was kind of McFarland's deal. And then Jashawn Corbin, here he is. He's just kind of bopping around. Last week he had 30 touches for 181 yards. Remarkable performance last week.
They lean on him tonight early. Oh, that one's almost picked off. Good coverage by Willie Harvey, the linebacker, cutting across and right underneath that one.
All right, quarterbacks at home. Here's what you can never do. If this read is supposed to go inside out, right? If you're supposed to go like 1, 2, and then 3 on the outside, you can never go back to number 1 on the inside. You can't go backwards. As soon as you go backwards, in particular back over the middle of the field, the reaction of the defense is going to be in that throwing lane, and he's lucky that ball wasn't picked off by Willie Harvey.
So it brings up 3rd down. Empty backfield. Mon under pressure. Can he get the first? No. Boy, he thought about going airborne, but Lucas Dennis was having none of that. And now it's a 4th down decision.
Boy, you can tell Kellen wants to go. He's trying to look. He's got his back to his coach. Like, no. If I turn my back, he's just got to call a play. Right. Remember, they've got one of the best kickers in the league, and Tristan Vizcaino. He's 6 of 8, long of 54, but they're going to stay on the field. Mon got his wish. Here we go. He's back on the field. He got him to this point. Give it to him again.
And they throw a lineman in the backfield. And whistles blow before they snap it. And they call a timeout.
Timeout. San Antonio.
San Antonio wants to discuss it. I mean, you're 1-7. Why not go for it? Mon trying to pressure his head coach. We'll see who wins this battle. Tonight's game is sponsored by Tonight's game is sponsored by Progressive. Progressive protects your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, and RV, and could save you money. And by T-Mobile, America's largest 5G network. And so Kellen Mond still gets his wish. They are going for it on 4th and 1 at the 30-yard line. What's the play call here?
Let's see, you got a quarterback that's got some athleticism.
Hey, we got jumbo right, ISO right, 1-1, ready?
2 tight ends, a lineman in the backfield, and Aiden Robbins lined up at tailback.
Is that extra lineman in the backfield?
Robbins hit in the backfield. Travis Feeney not fooled at all. Well, you said it earlier, Joel. This St. Louis defense the last few weeks has helped carry this team. They come up with the big stop their first time on the field to keep San Antonio off the board.
Let's go back to that fourth down. Look at this. It's just a tight formation right here, which means that the defensive end, Travis Feeney, is really close to the line of scrimmage, and he's very close to the backfield. There's nothing to hold him on that backside. They either need a tight end to slide over there and or the quarterback to boot out there. But look at Feeney. He's got nothing threatening him whatsoever. Nobody in his face. It's a beeline to the running back, and he stops the play for a fourth down. Listen, this guy has great instincts. There's a reason he's the defensive player of the week, the reigning defensive player of the week. 5 tackles last week, sack and a half, 2 forced fumbles. He was excellent, and that's just another example of those instincts there on the fourth down.
And so St. Louis takes it over on downs from the 33. Oh, Tavante Beckett got in and broke up that one to Jennings. Let's check in with Devin, who's with the star defensive player, Freeney.
Wow. Defensive player of the week a week ago. What is in the mind of a player who is given a short edge and unblocked on a fourth down?
I think it's disrespect. I mean, then again, I had to reintroduce myself. They didn't give me nobody to block me. I'm going to make a free play.
I mean, unbelievable. When you see the tackle block down and you start to run down, are you thinking this ball has to come out and I'm going to finish it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he only got one way to cut. Either cut it into me or he's trying to run away from me. He can't run away from me.
I hope they block. I hope they block you the rest of the game.
I hope they do it. I hope they leave me free the rest of the game.
He'll be defensive player of the year instead of the game.
That's right.
Or the week if that happens.
Right.
Prince Emili knocked that one down.
It's going to happen.
It'll be 3rd and 10.
Hey, lab the trade right class C3 Jet Tennessee. Here we go. Hey, Einstein. Hey, Corey. White 80. White side. Here we go. We're good. Turbo set.
On 3rd down, Duggan winds up and just throws it into the ground. Flag down on the play as well. Jacob Pearson, the intended receiver.
All right, replay 3rd down.
First penalty of the game.
Offside. Defense, number 19, lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. It's 3rd down.
And so they'll have another shot at it.
Let's see what they do here, where they go. They came out throwing the ball really well. Not so much so on this series, though.
Action, 3-jet, pump dice, white hammer, all right. You got it.
Remember, watch for the anticipation for Max Duggan. Because of that delivery, he needs to get the ball out quickly, which is putting the real burden on his mind, making decisions in a quick fashion.
Oh, they throw it again. He winds up, gets the first. Completes it out to the tight end, Jake Sutherland, gain of 7.
Well, they're just going to work this left side of the field here, and Sutherland is just going to be able to go up and hook in kind of a soft spot in the defense. Watch as he's reading it, and he just settles down, and as soon as those numbers get back to the quarterback, Duggan pulls the trigger, and it's a completion for a first down. So they get the offside penalty, and then they take advantage and move the chain, stay on the field.
From the 40. Jacob Sailors. 15 easy yards when you hand it off to the leading rusher in the league.
I love this little concept. Watch as they're gonna pull this tight end right up into the middle of this line of scrimmage. So here's Jake Sutherland. He's gonna pull right up, and then he gets a great block. Really, 2 guys. The tackle, he helps their guard, and he gets Tavante Beckett, who's been one of the best in the UFL. And then there's the patience that I was speaking of from Jacob Sailors. This is a guy that just quietly searches for that hole, and then once he decides, man, he's got some explosiveness.
He went over to the sideline. We'll keep an eye on him. Jarvion Howard now in, and he gets the run. Maybe it doesn't matter who's running the football right now. They had 173 yards rushing last game, and here in this first quarter, they're going to go into the second quarter with another big gain of 11. Well, Howard's in right now. Beck is watching as his team has the lead 3-0 in the early going right here at home. We were talking about that St. Louis run games. They call themselves the Knights of Colombo. That's the nickname for them because their offensive line coach is Mark Colombo. The Battlehawks lead the UFL in rush yards per game and rush attempts per game. And the Colombo, the former NFL first-round pick to the Bears, played with the Cowboys for a bit. Been an offensive line around the league in the NFL here in his first season in the UFL. Right now, his offense averaging almost 6 yards per carry in this game through one quarter, as St. Louis leads it 3-0.
Good toe. Good toe.
Jacob Saylor still there on the sideline. Jarvian Howard in at running back.
Here we go. Wide 80. Right set. Get out, get out, get out, get out, get out. In it.
Blitz picked up. Duggan steps up, completes it, and it is caught by Gary Jennings. No, incomplete. He couldn't haul it in. That ball was thrown low. I thought maybe he made the diving catch, but it's ruled incomplete.
Well, he was certainly laid out for this. Did he get those hands underneath? No, that was clearly helped out by the ground right there. Made a good sell of it, though, Gary Jennings did. And that ball, again, we've seen a couple of the throws from Max, just a bit shallow, not quite getting to their intended target. And, you know, that's something that even in pregame warm-up, he was telling his wide receivers, he's like, hey, they're coming out as they come out.
They're a little funky sometimes. Jarvian Howard, and he's stopped in the backfield.
You know, you talk about this offensive line, they're having to carry that load because they're not a great throwing team. They're last in the UFL passing the football, so what do they have to do? Be the best running team in the league, and that's what Marco Colombo and this offensive line have been able to do. And a lot of that is Jacob Saylor, certainly, and he's been terrific. Probably this year's Offensive Player of the Year in the UFL if I were to vote right now. But that offensive line is a big reason why he has been so effective. They are so good running the football, strong at the point of attack. They've been excellent this year.
You need to complete a pass here.
Look quick.
On 3rd and 11. Four-man rush. Duggan winds up. High caught. Blake Jackson, 1st and goal, Battlehawks.
I tell you, this is a good anticipatory throw from Max Duggan because he's going to throw this route right on top of the linebacker. Watch this linebacker right here. As soon as the route gets on top of him, ball is out, and that corner is trying to collapse, and then that's excellent job by Blake Jackson. Athleticism to go up there, high point this ball before he can get into that corner. And Chris Steele couldn't make a play, and here's St. Louis, 1st and goal inside the 5.
180. Right side.
Howard. Did he cross the goal line? He did. Touchdown, St. Louis.
There's that power of the offensive line. Great job by Jarvian Howard as well. He comes in 220 pounds, so he packs a punch in these short yardage situations. And this is a guy that had a huge week 1 for St. Louis, and guess who's happy about that? I'll tell you, the only guy usually on the offense beside the running back that is happy when a nice completion falls short just at the 1 yard line is the offensive line coach, because he's like, all right, now we get ugly down here and punch it into the end zone with the run game.
You forgot to spit before you say that.
That's
yeah. Every offensive line coach out of Central Casting. They're going to go for 1 from the 2 yard line.
Wide 80. Right side.
2 tight ends to the right. They throw to the left. And Butler couldn't one-hand it. So the conversion attempt fails, but the touchdown stands. 2 possessions, 2 scores for Max Duggan and the Battlehawks. And they've got a 9-0 lead in the early going here in front of the home folks. Here's our Friday night spotlight, looking around the UFL. Well, another strong showing for the Showboats. Memphis will host Arlington. Maybe a playoff preview in the USFL conference. Definitely it is, because Michigan and Birmingham will both go there. DC tries to keep pace. Jordan Talmo and company fight for the top record as they will take on the St. Louis squad of the XFL championship game coming up June 8th right here on Fox. But that's the schedule for this weekend as Max Duggan and the Battlehawks try to roll into the playoffs with their win streak intact. Right now, they won 4 straight games.
Well, and how about those opening series? You know, 2 quality opening series there. Now that's up to 22 snaps, 139 yards. They've done a great job here running the football. And I'll give Max a lot of credit. You know, I think he's thrown the ball so far, you know, as well as he's thrown it all season long here in the opening going against San Antonio.
Jonathan Kirkland. And he's going to be stopped right about the 25-yard line.
Peter Penu, outside linebacker.
Well, remember Peter's name because he leads the UFL. 7.5 sacks through the first 8 games. Trying to add to that. All UFL last season and in the hunt to be UFL Defensive Player of the Year this season.
You know, what makes him so dangerous is that he's got a running mate on the other side. So, you know, the offensive line has to kind of pick their poison. You know, you take a look at these guys. You got one on this side, you got one on that side. Like, who are you going to block? Travis Feeney or Peter Talmo-Payne?
Aiden Robbins on first down for San Antonio, weaving his way out across the 30.
And the best thing that you can do as an offense to try to neutralize great edge rushers is be able to run the football. And that's exactly what San Antonio is going to be trying to do. Now, this is a team that I think can run the football effectively. They just don't get to, and in large part because they've been behind in almost every single game. They get behind teams, then they can't run the ball. But when you look at their just average per carry, they're second in the UFL in terms of their average per carry rushing the football, but they're constantly behind like they find themselves here.
It is one of the strengths of their team when they get to do it. Mond throws to Robbins out of the backfield, and he gets the first down. Peter Talmo-Payne thought he had him, just not enough of it.
This is what he does. You know, this is just a terrific pass rush on the outside. Look at the active hands. He gets to the level of the quarterback. When we were talking to Anthony Beck, he talked about, hey, Peter could have, 40 sacks. Right. It feels like he's at the quarterback so often. Every single game he could have 4 or 5 sacks, and he just needs to continue to surge towards that finish.
Robbins again. Bounced around. Let's check in with Devin.
Yeah, guys, his relentless effort is evident, but I don't think you guys knew this. After the season, he felt like he was a disappointment. He didn't think that he performed at the level that he had showed the year before in the XFL as the XFL Defensive Player of the Year. And so 2 days after the season ended, he started training, like really training, getting ready for the next season that obviously was a year away. So that's the kind of attitude that he has. And you can see with his relentless play and his rush to the passer how he feels about his play a year ago.
And that training paying off this season. Kirkland makes the catch right at the midfield stripe. Mike Rose makes the tackle, but 5 yards and a first for San Antonio.
I tell you what, this ball, you could fit it in a basketball hoop size. Watch Mond let this one go. I mean, that is a tight window throw, and just such good anticipation from Mond and Kirkland to just settle in that hole between the defenders. He didn't slide or drift in order to get covered. Mike Rose can't quite get there, and Kirkland's got the ball for a first down.
Mond 4 for his first 5. Robbins, draw play there, picks up 3.
These first down play calls for this defense, they become so important because of that pass rush, and Peter Talmo-Payne in particular. Anytime that they can get you behind the chains, he's going to get a quick breather right here next to Donnie Abraham over here, that defensive coordinator. But anytime they can get you behind the chains, then all of a sudden that pass rush has increased significance and effectiveness. And they're going to be looking to get after Kellen Mond right here.
93.
Mond has time. Another good throw by Kellen Mond. That's to D. Anderson. His timing is on tonight.
Yeah, and it's also his accuracy, because I agree with you. The timing's been perfect. The curl is coming over right over here to this part of the field. But look at this. I mean, the anticipation, the ball is out on time. They can't slide over. So Callahan O'Reilly, number 59, the middle linebacker, he couldn't quite get there. Look at that, just over his arm before the defender can get there from the backside. That was Micah Abraham. And San Antonio putting together a quality series here.
10 yards to the 38. Corbin through a hole, and Corbin picks up 8 yards. Ball came out. Ball came out and is scooped up by Micah Abraham. He's going the other way. No flags on the play. Touchdown, St. Louis.
Tell you, the way that Corbin reacted when he hit the ground, I think he thought it was out. The way that he kind of reached back for the football, and the guy right there was Micah Abraham, number 21. He was about to hit him right in the chest right here. So watch as Corbin starts to go down, and then there's the hit from Abraham. And where did that ball actually start coming loose? Yeah, that's close, because that shin was awfully close to being down on the ground. Ruled as a fumble on the field, so it was Abraham that actually started to rip that ball out. And I think, Kurt, that was loose before that shin actually touched the turf.
Well, if it is a fumble, you also have to see if Abraham wasn't touched while he was down. So it's confirmed as a fumble.
Which, the contact then, as he's ripping it out, isn't Corbin contacting him just by the nature of the play? See, there's the contact. See, look at his hand is in there. So even if he gains possession, he's down. Being contacted, well, now he's got the ball. Oh boy, I would have thought that he would have been down back there.
Yeah, they gave him the touchdown, so they go for 2. And that one tipped to the line of scrimmage, but the touchdown stands.
Wow.
Micah Abraham, his first game in the UFL. Son of defensive coordinator Donnie Abraham, making daddy proud and extending the lead. It is 15-0. St. Louis. Abraham with the defensive play, forcing it out and taking it all the way home. Tonight's game is sponsored by Hershey's. Tonight's game is sponsored by Hershey's Milk Chocolate. Have you had your Hershey's? And by Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut. Oh, Micah Abraham's 70-yard scoop and score makes it a 15-0 game. Mike Pereira, You made a quick decision on this. What'd you see?
Yeah, it was a close play, Kurt. I think we had to look at, first of all, was it a fumble? And elbow was down and the shin was down. We're looking at both of those, but the ball was coming out when those hit the ground. And then you had to look to see if Abraham was actually down when he got control of the ball. He was touched, but it was before he had control. But once he got control, he got up, wasn't touched, and therefore it's a score.
Nice quick decision. Thank you, Mike Pereira.
Excellent job. Command center on top of it once again, and there's Dad Donnie Abraham that is watching Mike Abraham, his son, first game in the UFL.
You think they'll talk about that over a holiday 4th of July barbecue?
So, yes. Oh my goodness. Michael was the 6th-round pick of the Colts back in 2024 out of Marshall, but something tells me that that's a play that he's never going to forget.
Well, Devin will ask him. Devin? Oh, Devin's going to have him in a moment. My apologies. He's probably still celebrating. Got to get over to Devin here.
Right here. Here we go. Hey, we got
had to play special teams. That's what it was.
That's exactly right.
It was
When
like,
it's your
all right.
first game and you're a defensive back, you got to play special teams.
You got to do it all. The more you can do, right? And so San Antonio now has to try to start chipping away, down 15. And our second flag of the game.
Timeout. St. Louis, they're first. 30 seconds.
And so instead, St. Louis gets the timeout, which gives us time to check in with Devin and Micah.
Hey, Luke. Micah, signed a week ago, inactive last week, first game in the UFL. Boom! Just like that. Talk about what just happened.
It's great. When you grow up a playmaker, it doesn't matter how long you're out, you're always going to be a playmaker. So it felt good.
You didn't see your dad, but the word is that he was losing his mind in the booth. What do you think he was doing up there?
He was probably hooting and hollering. That'll probably be his last time, though. He got it out, so now I make a play, he probably would be calm and nonchalant like always.
Something nice to talk about on Thanksgiving, right?
Huh?
Something nice to talk about on Thanksgiving, right?
Exactly.
Good luck the rest of the game.
Thank you.
White shoe on a silent one. Ready?
Well, this is what a coach does. He gets excited, and then he calms down.
Yeah, that's right.
Back to work with his defense on the field. Mond underneath. Kirkland, who has been his favorite receiver so far tonight. That's his 4th catch.
He's been good. Like I said, 2 weeks ago he had 7 catches. Last week went quiet, only 1 catch. But you look, this is a guy that last year was tied for the league lead in receptions, and he's a heck of a playmaker down the field. He struggled this year a couple of times with drops and key moments and big plays down the field, but overall he is easily their best playmaker on the outside.
He's had to deal with multiple quarterbacks this year as well, as Corbin cuts it back, fighting and gets the first down just across the 39-yard line.
It's got to be so deflating because San Antonio has put together 2 good quality offensive series.
They really have.
They turned it over on downs and then turned the football over with that Corbin fumble, which turned into a touchdown. Here's a nice finish by Corbin as he needed to try to get all the way up to, what was that, the 41?
They needed to cross the 39, and so they're going to have the measurement here just to make sure he got that first down. Remember, through the technology, you can tell exactly how far away he is, and he got it by that much.
Good finish there by Corbin. Tough finish. I mean, you wonder just a little bit. Now, obviously, I think he's got plenty of gas in the tank. He's only 24 years old, playing his college ball at Florida State. But last week's effort, I tell you, in a loss to Memphis, 30 touches and 181 yards. I mean, that is remarkable as far as just an overall performance from the running back position.
In a game that went to overtime. Mond. Yeah, too much pressure, just throws that one away.
Yep. All right, trips right, Celtics stare blunt. Trips right, Celtics stare blunt.
Here we go. Right here. Hey, trips right, Celtic stare blunt on a silent one. Ready?
Play fake, out to Kirkland again. Catch number 5, fighting. Good second effort by Corbin. Gain of 9, it'll make it 3rd and 1.
I'll tell you, it brings him up to a nice, easy conversion opportunity. They had to throw away that screen pass on 1st down, and then they come out just an easy hitch. Lots of cushion out there for Kirkland on the outside.
Broncos on a silent 1, ready?
Silent count coming up. Corbin gets it. Good run by Corbin. 5 yards, another San Antonio first.
This is what I love, is when you just know that you're going to have a kind of a matchup like this. Watch these 2 guys. They're going to match up, and then you've got one guy to beat, bang, and he's able to just split him, get behind his pads. It's a beautiful job. He knows that O'Reilly is going to be unblocked, and O'Reilly squeezes up to the line of scrimmage and does a nice job contacting him behind the line of scrimmage, but Corbin spins away and gets the first.
From the 45. Mond under pressure, throws on the run. Going deep, Ward can't haul it in. Running step for step, Lucas Dennis, and Ward missed it by that much.
I mean, this is a great ball. This is a great ball. So here's Ward, number 17. Okay, and he's going right down the seam, and Mond almost fading away. That ball is thrown absolutely perfectly, and the coverage was outstanding. I mean, right at the last second to pull on that left arm, Lucas Dennis gets in there and breaks it up. I mean, you can't throw it better than that if you're Kellen Mond.
You're so close to getting on the board. Here's Corbin. Let's check in with Devin on 3rd down, before the 3rd down.
Yeah, I just have a question for Joel. A young Joel, you throw a great pass like that, you're under duress, you finally get another opportunity. What is your conversation like with that wide receiver?
Well, first of all, I don't want to have it until I'm over on the sideline, and then I tell him something like, you know, do you want me to put handles on it? No, I just, listen, I wouldn't say that. My sarcasm is only meant for you, Devin. I would just tell him, listen, you're going to make a play later in this game and try to get his head back into the game because of moments like this, Devin. You're going to have 3rd and 7. You're going to have many more opportunities where you need people to make a play, and Greg Ward is going to be asked to do that at some point here tonight.
San Antonio forced to use their 2nd timeout. 4:42 left to go here in this first half. The top teams have separated themselves, and the UFL playoff field is set. We've got the XFL Conference Championship game for you on Fox. comes your way Sunday, June 8th. It'll be the DC Defenders and the St. Louis Battlehawks. Kickoff from St. Louis, 6 o'clock Eastern time, right here, only on Fox. And here's a look back at their first meeting, week 3. Their second will occur next week, and then they'll play in the playoff game in 2 weeks. Max Duggan was not the quarterback then, by the way.
I was just going to say, it's a different Battlehawks team. You know, this one's won 4 in a row. And Max Duggan's 4 starts, and in large part due to the fact that their defense has been absolutely lights out. They've got 3rd and 7 here.
Empty backfield. Pressure picked up. First down picked up. Mond completes that one out to Marquez Stevenson.
Tell you what, Devin, Mond is playing about as well as we've seen in a long time for him. That ball is out on time.
Yeah, and down here, every single ball, maybe not everyone, maybe that's a little excessive, but almost every ball, it seems like if he's a millisecond later, that it's going to be intercepted, tipped to the other team. And we know how tip balls in versus good defenses. I mean, it is really impressive to see. And I think one of the things that you need to pay attention to is he's not under duress as much as he was when he was the starter.
He picks up 10 on that one. And they hand it off. Corbin with running room. Good gain of 14, and they keep moving the chains.
Well, and look at the spread set, right? So watch these linebackers. Look where they're at. Look how far the linebackers are apart. So what can you do? You can seal them off, and then you can get right up into the gut there, and that's a beautiful job of Corbin. So again, with a slashing style runner like that, they're using these formations and the movement of the offense to create some space in the interior and allow Corbin to work.
We know where these two teams are, but this feels like an important series for this game for San Antonio. 10th play of the drive. 2 running backs in the backfield, and they keep it. Mond, and he's going to fall forward for a short gain. The reason I say it feels like it, they've had good drives, just not been able to finish it so far.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They were stopped on 4th down, like I was talking about earlier. Then they turned it over. Corbin did. But I got to tell you, this is a really impressive answer.
Split left tight, gold X Waco.
Keeping Max Duggan on the sideline for a bit.
Mond is playing really well right now. Everything, he just seems in total control, even though they're down 15-0.
Looking for running room. And it's going to be just a short 2-yard pickup on the play. Carson Wells with the stop, and it's a 3rd down.
Well, you know, St. Louis has got to be thinking to themselves right now, like, how can we squeeze some points out of this drive, hopefully a touchdown. And then remember, St. Louis got the opening kick, right? So San Antonio is going to be getting the ball to start the second half as we get long into this second quarter, almost to the 2-minute warning. So on 3rd and 6 here, you got to be making your mind up. What do I want to do if I'm Peyton Pardee on 4th down if that comes to that situation?
3rd and 6. Out of the backfield, Corbin, and it looks like he got the first down.
Man, what a good job by Mond. See how quick he made that decision? It's just a check down, but he didn't wait for it. He got the ball out quickly, and it allows Corbin to just turn and just get those extra few couple of yards in order to move the chains. Good decision right there. Check it down to Corbin. He's been fantastic tonight. Huge series for San Antonio. They need a touchdown, down 15.
Tomorrow it's Baseball Night in America, featuring two of the biggest stars in the game as Shohei Ohtani and the Dodgers go up against Juan Soto and the Mets. Or you can catch the Guardians taking on the Tigers. Check your local listings for the game in your area. It all starts tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Eastern, right here on Fox.
This is only their third possession, San Antonio, and each time they've moved the football. 8 plays, stopped on downs, 7 plays, fumble. That one got taken back, scoop and score. Really a 2-possession swing just in that one snap right there. It's 15-0. Doesn't feel like it on the field. It's feel at this point like a really evenly matched game.
And here comes the blitz. Corbin to the 5-yard line. They've run 13 plays on this drive, and it's 2nd and goal.
I'll tell you what, if they allow Mond to stick that football out.
If you don't have it, kill it to Broncos.
And read off of Corbin, because this defense, you feel them kind of collapsing on Jashawn Corbin. And rightly so. He's running the football so hard. We saw how quickly those defensive ends crash on Corbin. Mond could probably walk into the end zone.
Flag out before the snap.
Oh, dear. Got a little false start over there on Zuri Henry.
Does he want to take it? Q, find out if he wants to run off on St. Louis. No, he does not want the runoff. Declining the runoff. We're going to go on the snap.
God damn it.
False start. Offense number 68. 5-yard penalty. It's 2nd down. St. Louis has declined the 10-second runoff. The clock will start on the snap.
So that's on the right tackle, Zuri Henry. Henry going to back him up.
I'm going Denver, I'm going Boston. Okay, let's go here. Let's go deuce left. Okay, sorry, deuce right. Celtics raft. Deuce right, Celtics raft.
Hey, deuce right, Celtics raft on a silent 1. Ready?
So it's 2nd and goal from the 10-yard line now. Corbin cuts it back into the end zone for the touchdown. Let's go! I don't know if it'll silence the crowd, but it'll keep them quiet for a little while.
Well, what I love here is, look, there's only 4 interior defenders. Everybody else is outside. You either had ends outside or safeties outside. And so San Antonio just takes their 5 offensive linemen, and they block right down the middle of the field, cover up color. And I got to tell you, Corbin is running so hard and so effective right now. Outside of that fumble, he's been the best player on the field tonight. He's been absolutely outstanding. And that was a huge touchdown for San Antonio. Finally get a nice payoff to a quality offensive series.
And they go for 1 from the 2. Corbin gets it. And just like that, it's a 1-score game. Jashawn Corbin with the touchdown and the conversion. San Antonio on the board for the first time tonight. And just like that, they're within a touch. 15-7.
Sorry, I know they come out funky, man. So I was never through a great spiral, so. Sorry, I know they come out funky, man. So I was never through a great spiral, so.
I love that audio we caught before the game. You take a look at this throwing motion compared to Jordan Ta'amu, and you see that Ta'amu, he drops it down just a little bit, but it doesn't go below his hip, and then look how much quicker it's out of his hand. You know, Max Duggan's not going to do a lot about that from a technique standpoint, and he's thrown the ball effectively tonight, 7 of 11 for 86 yards. And I will tell you this, as a quarterback, they don't call the position thrower. You know, you've got to be a quarterback, and that's what Max, I think, excels with, is his competitive intelligence, his competitive toughness and spirit. You know, we haven't seen him run a lot, but that's when he's most effective, is when he's willing his team down the field and he's orchestrating drives. You know, I think that Anthony Becht is looking at this playoff run, and this could be, maybe likely, his last series before the playoffs. I don't know if he'll play next week. He might not play in this second half due to them locking up this playoff spot and hosting that game here in St. Louis. So, Devin, this might be the last series that we see Max Duggan until the postseason.
Yeah, and I think you absolutely nailed it. His football character is some of the best I've seen. I've seen a lot of football players. I was a football player myself, and his ability to galvanize his troops, right, and make sure that everybody believes in him, whether it comes out funky or not. It's really impressive to see, going all the way back to the TCU days and that masterful run he had where he beat my Wolverines to go to the national championship. I mean, he is as impressive as a competitor as I've seen.
Here he throws it down low. Butler with the catch. And as they lined up, we saw Jacob Sailors back in the game for the first time in a while at running back. Hustled back to the line of scrimmage.
Turbo set.
Duggan winds up. Butler first down.
Got a couple of timeouts, so it's plenty of time. They've also got, I think, the best kicker in the league. Blankenship's got range all the way to about 56, Kurt. So they only need, even at this point, another 15, 20 yards to be in field goal range.
Duggan hit as he throws, sticks it right into the breadbasket of Ja'Cour Pearson. Showing a little toughness as well.
That's exactly right. Listen, again, that's what we were just talking about. That doesn't look pretty, but you talk about like competitive spirit and toughness. He's going to get hit right in the chest and wears it. And he still gets the ball right down the middle of the field and finds Ja'Cour Pearson, number 1. Is it the most beautiful throw? No. Does it get the job done? Absolutely. And Max Duggan, that's what his teammates love about him, is he is willing to stand in there and take a shot and get the ball down the field. Let's take a look at what he's been able to do tonight. They came out really trying to establish throwing the football, and he's done that fairly well. He's 10 of 14 so far in this ball game. Got the ball out to Sailors. That was the third down, a little conversion there. Beautiful ball right down the seam. That was to Blake Jackson. And Jackson went up the ladder for a completion down to the 1 yard line. Sailors took it in right after that. And again, 10 of 14 for 113. But he has not run the football. Again, they were trying to establish that development of being a passer and becoming a better, more efficient passer, and I think in a lot of respects he's done that.
It's working tonight. Here's Duggan back to pass again. Wide open Pearson. Ran a little backwards there, eventually run out of bounds.
Well, Blankenship's got range to 56. We saw him last week attempt from 58. It's his only miss of the year, and it hit the crossbar. So it was, I mean, it was right down mainstream, but hit the crossbar. So there's Rodrigo Blankenship. And he's had a solid NFL career now in the UFL, and has had a terrific year here. So they are likely in field goal range if they get about 5 more yards here.
Protection has been good all night long. That's a little high, and an incomplete intended for Blake Jackson. You talked about trying to throw the football tonight. That's what they've done with Max Duggan, 118 yards passing. His 4 starts, he's averaged 112. So already exceeding that and a half.
And again, no rushes, whereas we normally see him being really effective as a runner. And probably, I think it's his best attribute and what allows them to move the football down the field so well. But here, they're asking him to be that pocket passer, and he's done it fairly well.
Up top. Coverage and a flag. Easy decision. One-on-one with Hakeem Butler was Corey Mayfield. He's going to draw the penalty.
Yeah, and I tell you, Mayfield tugged the jersey
Pass
pretty
interference.
severely.
Defense number 28, 15-yard penalty with an automatic first down.
He's got a tough task here because obviously Butler goes 6'5", 220, and you can see he gets beat, but Duggan tries to go back shoulder. Not a great throw, but then he gets bailed out by Mayfield, who reaches back and just grabs Butler and almost drags him to the ground.
Here we go, Frank, here we go.
It's an easy call. 15-yard penalty sets up first down from the 22.
White 80, white set.
Duggan, his first run of the night. One of the rare times we saw pressure coming up front from that San Antonio defense. Still, he ran for 6.
And Kurt and Devin, that's when you see where he's at his most effective. That's when he's most comfortable right there, Dev. Take off right away.
Absolutely.
Hey,
Devin agrees with you.
3 jet lands, but won't worry.
A man of few words, Devin Gardner.
I'll tell you though, you do see that decisiveness, and it puts the defense in conflict on the edge.
White 80, white set.
Duggan, his arm hit, but he still completes it, and it's Darby into the end zone for the touchdown. And St. Louis answers back.
Tell you, Darby makes a great adjustment here. Watch on the outside, he's going to kind of hook over, and then he's going to come back to the football. As Duggan goes onto the outside, he comes back to the football, and then he's able to get into the end zone. That's exactly what Anthony Becht wanted to see, not only from his offense, but from his quarterback. Like I said, that was likely Max Duggan's last series before the postseason, and he wanted to leave the field with a sweet taste in his mouth, and throwing for a touchdown is exactly what you want. 12 of 17, 134 yards, and now a touchdown. And driving down in the 2-minute drill, that was very effective.
And they hand it off to go for the extra point. Jacob Saylor's nowhere to run, but it's a 2-touchdown lead for St. Louis as Max Duggan comes out in his final drive of at least the first half, and as you said, maybe of this regular season. And he extends the lead with 12 ticks left on the clock.
And you could see that pass. I'm just going to use his language, so this is not me ripping on him, but it's like it doesn't always look pretty. You know, that wasn't a spiral, and you know, but it was effective. And again, Devin touched on it, I touched on it. It's about the competitive spirit of Max Duggan and what he means to a team just from an emotional standpoint. Here's a look at that throw again. And Duggan comes back, he knows where to go with the ball. And actually, you know, to be fair, he might have gotten that tipped at the line of scrimmage. There was a defensive lineman's hand right in the throwing area as it kind of came. I see that lineman, that was Prince Emili, missed last week, but back in the lineup now. And I think he got a little finger on that, and Darby came back to the football. Doesn't always have, again, you don't play the position of thrower. You know, you're a quarterback out there. And that's why you've got to go out there. It's never going to be repeatable, and you've got to will your team down the field. And this is what, there's this bad connotation out there. Everyone, you know, grimaces when you say like, oh, he's a quality game manager. And it's like every great quarterback is a great game manager, and here we go.
Oh, what a return. Talk about a game manager. They're going to manage to get back in the end zone. Maybe Jaden Sheridan just stopped before he got out. 1 second left for San Antonio. What a return. Just when you thought it was time to go to the locker room, not yet.
I'm blabbering on about quarterbacks being game managers, and we almost get a return for a touchdown. My goodness. Down the sideline, and just had the touchdown saved.
Micah Abraham again.
Micah Abraham had the scoop and score, and then here, just the hustle on the backside. Look at 21, Micah Abraham. I mean, racing down there to get him out of bounds, but now San Antonio with a tick left to get their field goal unit on the field.
Exactly. And so we're going to have a super challenge from Anthony Becht in St. Louis. Remember, in the UFL, coaches can challenge any play. And Anthony Becht,
somebody to tell him what the challenge.
He's trying to decide with the people up in his booth.
We got a hold on 32, R32.
Okay, so your player number
32 was held during the return.
Yes. His number's 32? His number's 32 as well. Holding.
So St. Louis is challenging that their number 32 was held.
By the other 32.
So their 32 is Henry Black.
St. Louis has challenged the ruling on the field that there was no foul for holding. The previous play is under further review.
And Quinterio Cole is 32 for St. Louis.
He's warding them off, pushing them downfield, reaching. I'm looking here at 32. 32, it's actually 32 holding 32. He's pushing them away, well behind the play, going to deny the challenge. The ruling in the field's going to stand. So there is no hold.
Be that no hold?
No
They're charging
hold.
timeout, no more challenges.
That is correct.
After further review, the call on the field stands. St. Louis just charged their third and final timeout, and they have no challenges remaining for the rest of the game.
Okay, we'll see if that winds up being important, that they have no more super challenges. But we're only 1 second away from the Progressive halftime show, so they're not worried about it here in the remainder of the first half. The 87-yard return by Sheridan counts. And now San Antonio will try and get just a little bit closer here. They're lucky, actually, that he got knocked out of bounds.
Yeah. 1 more yard, 2 more yards,
Yeah.
the clock might have ran out.
So from 29 yards out, Vizcaino. Well, some fireworks at the end of the first half.
That's the end of the second quarter.
21-10. St. Louis will have the lead over San Antonio, who just got that field goal, and will receive the ball to start the second half.
I was impressed with both offenses in that half.
Let's check in with Devin.
Coach, you talked before the game about what you wanted to see. What did you see in that first half?
Well, I love the 1-2 energy and effort, right? We came out offensively, pushed the ball down the field. That's an excellent drive right before the 2-minute. We still had a timeout in our pocket, and we're still able to score a touchdown. The goal was field goal, and we were able to score, guys making big plays. Defensively, man, we're getting gashed in the run game right now. Our big guys got to show up. They're much better than that. We'll fix that at halftime. I expect that to be much better in the second half.
We talked earlier in the week about the quarterback situation and who would play what at what, how much. What's going to be the quarterback coming in the second half?
Yeah, I told Max he's going to play a half. We're going to go with Brandon in the second half, get him some reps. I got to help these guys get some play. Brandon's been waiting his turn. We're going to bring him in the second half, let him play.
Good luck in the second half.
All right, appreciate you, Dev.
All right, time for tonight's big move, brought to you by Pods. Jashawn Corbin with San Antonio's only touchdown of the game, but it was him coughing up the football that seemed to kind of turn the game on his head for a little bit as Micah Abraham scooped it up and scored from 70 yards out to extend the St. Louis lead, which is 21-10 right now at halftime. We'll be back with the Progressive Halftime Show right after this. Don't you dare think about going anywhere.
up 2 scores? Yeah. We good. I know what time it is. It's pound town. 2-5. Let's go. It's pound town. Let's go, boys. Let's go, line. I know what time it is now. Pound town. Run these boys out of here.
Okay.
You can't show too much today. You feel me? Waiting for that.
Back in St. Louis, where tonight's UFL halftime is brought to you by Progressive. 21-10, the hometown Battlehawks with the lead. Frank Darby scoring just before the half. It's hard to believe we're already in week 9 of the UFL season. Why don't we take a look back at how we got here with some of the best plays and moments so far.
It is year 2 of the UFL on Fox.
Oh, they came out. A stiff arm makes a man miss.
Kalen Balaj breaking tackles and going all the way to the end zone for the touchdown.
Excellent run from Kalen Balaj.
Good job, good job. It's a way to get to that guy.
Put your foot on your throat and dominate. What a run, nothing between him and the end zones, and there they go.
Time now, being pressure tries to spin out of it, and that ball is picked off. Michigan's going to close it out with Kai Nakua, returning it all the way. Game sealer.
Going deep. Got it.
Absolutely perfect.
Still on his feet. Breaks free for a touchdown.
Intercepted. And he laterals it to the big fella.
Trying to get there himself. He goes airborne.
Isaiah Henny is going to take this one all the way back.
Oh, that is picked off.
Looking for the house call. He's got it.
Oh, he pressed the X button to the end zone. Off the deflection. He's caught for a touchdown. Here comes the pressure. Perkins still on his feet. Somehow, someway. Houdini does it again. Can he find something? He does it himself.
Finally get back on the field, man. Just a real moment.
Rub that lucky head.
Tonight's UFL on Fox halftime is presented by Progressive. Welcome back to St. Louis. Battlehawks up on the Brahmas 21-10 at half. Pretty well played first half. Both offenses in a bit of a rhythm here. Both quarterbacks have played well so far. Max Duggan early in this game threw the ball well. 29-yard throw right there to Blake Jackson. Beautiful job by Jackson. Body control. Got up there. Got that one. And then Howard takes it in from the 1-yard line. They would go up, and Micah Abraham, first game in the UFL, playing for his dad, Donnie Abraham, the defensive coordinator, scoop and score off of the fumble. They took the 15-0 lead, but then San Antonio really got it rolling offensively. Deshaun Corbin, he did a great job running the football and continues his hot streak. He's got 10 carries for 67. but St. Louis right back down the field. Beautiful 2-minute drill by Max Duggan. Little Karate Kid on the sideline right there for Frank Darby. And they put it in the end zone. Here are your first half stats. You can see 164 total yards for San Antonio, 193 for St. Louis. St. Louis threw the ball really well. Both teams, 12 first downs for San Antonio, 13 for St. Louis. So a good game right now. Really the difference was that scoop and score. When we come back the second half, San Antonio will have the ball here on the UFL.
Good job, boys. Good job, y'all boys. Appreciate y'all.
Hey, well done, right? That's redemption, man. You're good, baby. You're good. Life happens. You know what I mean? We'll be all right, man. Hey, here's the deal. They can't stop us. If we can stay out of our own way, man, this is how the game's going to go, man. I believe in you, baby. Let's roll.
Welcome back to Fox UFL Friday Night, brought to you by Pizza Hut. Devin Gardner's on the sideline with the Brahmas head coach, Peyton Pardee.
Coach, you saw some good in that first half, and the best of them, Kellen Mond. Talk about his play and what you saw from him.
Man, I'm so proud of him. He's been playing lights out. The whole offense, really, we've been firing on all cylinders. We just got to eliminate. Really, we had two critical mistakes in that first half, the fourth down conversion and then the fumble, obviously. So I feel really pleased with where we are right now. We just got to keep going, take care of the football. And, man, Kellen and the whole offense, they've been playing really, really well.
Good luck in the second half.
Awesome. Thank you.
And, Joel, that's not just coach speak. They have played well.
They really have. Yeah, and in particular, Mond, I think in particular the offensive line, Jashawn Corbin, he's been really good. But you look at Mond's first half, 9 of 12 for 77 yards. And as Devin and I were talking about in the first half, it's really been his anticipation and his ball placement. He's been really accurate with the football. And they, outside of those two mistakes, the fumble and the fourth down, they played outstanding on offense.
Jonathan Kirkland breaks free. Another big play on special teams by San Antonio gets them started here in the second half.
Well, here we go on the opposite side. Now we got to return the second time coming out. And I tell you, this is a team that just continues to play hard. 1-7, and they have come out here and played so well. And this time it's Kirkland, who's got some explosive ability with the ball in his hands. That's the second straight return we've seen. So clearly something going wrong on that St. Louis kickoff team from a coverage standpoint. that back-to-back returns for San Antonio that put him across the 50-yard line.
That one 48 yards. The man who has the ball right now, Jaden Short, had an 87-yard return. Let's check in with Devin again.
Bowman just new to this team, but already had the playbook down. He's going to let us know.
So Red F shoot, Y stick. Yeah, this is just an easy pass play, drop back. Obviously 2nd and 5. Red F shoots, the back's gonna be on the right, shoot to the right. F stick, so it's kind of a stick zone read, man or zone. So we'll see which side's man and which side's zone. But just being here, learning, got here on Wednesday, so had to get the playbook, be up late, but we got it. We got most of it. We got most of it.
Blitz coming. Mon on the run, gets the first and
the
slides.
defender, the Mike pushed out to the stick, vacated the middle of the field, space for him to run. See what we got next.
Hey, split right tight, this is out of 21. Split right tight, Silver, Z Nebraska, H swing. Split right tight, Silver, Z Nebraska, H swing.
Silver, another drop back. Z Nebraska, it's going to be a man or zone concept just like we had again. So obviously Nebraska's going to be to our right side, to our Z. We're going to see what we got here. Here we go.
When he says Nebraska, what's the concept?
So we're about to find out.
About to find out right now.
Right here, yeah.
That means I was saying Wednesday, I'm not sure.
It's basically a big Hank concept. So you have a middle read with a curl over the middle and then a curl outside. So Hank, everyone knows those plays. Obviously look over the middle of the ball. Whichever linebacker squeezes onto the middle. Whatever linebacker squeezes on that middle curl, you push to that side. So if the right linebacker pushes, we're working to the right curl. If the left linebacker pushes, we're working to the left curl. This here's 21 personnel. I know this one better. 21 personnel is going to be inside zone with a bluff with the running back, trying to make the defensive end make a decision and kind of give him some eye candy here with the running back. Open up the offense. Here you go. Nice run.
12. It's very impressive that you know all of this after just getting here on Tuesday, so keep it rolling.
Tusk right, Boston punch. 12. Tusk right, Boston punch.
All right, outside zone right. Punch, obviously, that's just going to be the kickback by the tight end, kind of get that defensive end. But it's a bread and butter play for us. Obviously, we're really good at outside zone. So about to be outside zone to the right, see if we can find a crease. Or obviously, you stretch outside zone and cutback lanes are wide open. So we'll see if we can do it. There's your cutback lane. 1 or 2 yards ain't bad. 1 or 2 yards ain't bad. I was thinking to myself this, anytime I see you, I know I'm doing something right. You know what I mean? And it's really good to see you as a Michigan man.
Okay, let's go. Tusk right, flop, red F seam, true 6X drag. Tusk right, flop, red F seam, true 6X drag.
All right, red F seam, actually know this one too. So you're going to have a YY set. You're going to flop the running back over to the other side. Both tight ends are going to run vertical down the field, and we're going to try and get our running back right in between them. So Mac and Stilly, our 2 tight ends, are going to go vertical, and the running back number 6 can go right in between them. See if we can get on this linebacker one-on-one. It's tough. 27 made a good play.
That's PI.
What do we got? 3rd and long.
All right, let's go here.
You can't hear it, but somebody thinks it's PI.
Okay. Yeah, hey, we'll take it. We'll take it.
Okay. Trey right, red F option levels. Trey right, red F option levels.
Trey, yeah, so we're going to trips to the left, inline tight end to the right, F option. So basically it's just going to be your tight end on the line is going to have a corner. If it's man-to-man, you got option with our running back. Levels is zone concept, the basic, a 5-yard under and a 5-yard under to the left. So it looks like man to my side, you're one-on-one to the running back, get 6, or the corner. Why not? Touchdown! I got to go celebrate.
Go celebrate with Alizé Mack.
So good.
Well, he's got man-to-man with Alizé Mack. And if you get man-to-man and you've got a corner route with your tight end, that's a terrific matchup. And the linebacker, Willie Harvey, can't get over the top. Alizé Mack, beautiful catch. Great ball from Mond. Again, continues to anticipate well. Continues to throw the ball well with great ball placement.
F away to trips right up.
Q, get a non-K ball ready. Never mind. Q, never mind.
Okay, we're going to look at this as he's going to the ground, so he's got to get to the ground. We're going to watch the process of the catch go back. It's clearly on the way to the ground.
Will be rolls right here.
As he hits the ground, the ball starts to come loose, and then it eventually gets to the ground. It's this shot that they're showing on television right now. Okay, going to the ground now. He's okay, comes loose, hits the ground there. It's incomplete. It's incomplete. We're going to go back to the previous play. It's going to be 4th and 9.
4th and 9 at the 12 on the right hash, Mayday?
That's correct. It's on the right hash.
Yeah. After further review, the pass is incomplete. It's 4th down.
Well, you heard the explanation from Mike Pereira. Mack not maintaining control through the catch to the ground. So they take it off the board, bring up a 4th down.
Yeah, impossible to see from the angles that we were looking at. It looked like a catch, but that last angle, you know, from behind the end zone was pretty clear, and Mike explained that so well. And now they're just going to have to take a field goal, and I tell you, that's disappointing because the execution was so good on that series, not only from the players on the field, but Alan Bowman off the field. That was incredible to listen to and watch along with him.
Guy who's been there 3 days, able to break it down for us.
Don't worry, he's been in 18 offenses. He knows what's going on.
I know. I saw the graphic actually said college journeyman. I'm like, it sounds like a shot. There's a flag down on the field goal attempt.
32 defense. Neutral zone infraction or offside?
He was in the neutral zone.
All right, so we're going to go offside defense. Does he want to move in 5 and replay the down? Or does he want the score?
32. Decline.
32. Offside. Defense number 32. Penalty is declined. The field goal is good. Timeout on the field.
They're just going to take the points. Why not? They gets them a little bit closer. They're within 1 score. Kellen Moore thought he was going to be even closer than this. Alize Mack just couldn't hold on there as Willie Harvey, that left hand, making the difference. There's the celebration. That was tonight's game flow, brought to you by Progressive. 21-13, Battlehawks up by a touchdown in this 9th week of the UFL right here on Fox. And, you know, The last 2 kick returns by San Antonio, they returned at 175 yards. But St. Louis's defense has held them to field goals on both. And now they will take over on offense for the first time here in the second half. Frank Darby, who had the touchdown right near the end of the first half, will bring on Brandon Silvers for the first time tonight at QB.
Yeah, kind of what we were expecting. Max Duggan to play a half after that 4-0 start as a starter. Played well in the first half, and then here's Brandon Silvers, signed after Manny Wilkins, their starter week 1, tore his Achilles back in week 4. He was the 3rd quarterback for St. Louis last year behind A.J. McCarron and Wilkins. Didn't play a snap, but here he's getting his opportunity. And a good one it is, with a good team around him, Kurt, and any football player will tell you. The chance to put, film out there, and tape out there. That's what this is all about. What an incredible opportunity this is.
Pump fake going deep right away, and it's hauled in. Butler with the catch. Flag in the secondary, but they're not gun shy with Silvers coming in at quarterback.
No, he's a bit of a better passer than Duggan, so I expect him to air it out. And there was a hold out there on Butler.
Defense, penalty is declined. Result of the play is a first down.
Okay, so watch this little double move right here. So first it's a little hitch, and then they get caught, and then there's the contact. Beautiful ball right there. I tell you, that ball placement was perfect. And on the sideline, Max Duggan loving it.
25-yard spiral and a wink. He's feeling it already. One play, huh? Jarvion Howard, and another first down for the Battlehawks. $12 yards on that run. You see the numbers for Max Duggan tonight.
12 of 17, 134 and a touchdown. I thought his best series was that last series, that 2-minute drill, Kurt, and he needed it, as we kind of set up prior, as likely his last. I don't know if he'll play again next week, but there's a possibility that was his last series before the postseason. It'll be Silvers here from here on out.
Here's Jarvion Howard. Can he get around the corner? San Antonio not letting him. First guy there, Jordan Williams.
It's just such a juxtaposition between these two players, Silvers and Max Duggan. They're just so vastly different.
In what ways?
Well, one, Silvers is going to be a really potent passer of the football, and we saw that on that first completion to Butler on the right side. The difference becomes when the pocket breaks down or when chaos around him in the pocket happens, he's not going to have the ability Duggan has to get away, evade, and create on the outside. So it's one or the other.
Howard lowers the boom out across the 26-yard line. Third down.
Silvers also has a better command of this offense only because he's been here longer.
For a couple of years now, a couple seasons.
Duggan hasn't been here that long, and when you really think about it, whereas Silvers was the 3rd quarterback last year, now he's back with him this year. He saw A.J. McCarron run this offense, and he's going to run this offense how A.J. ran it. It's going to be a pocket quarterback centric. You're going to have to run the football well and then take shots on the outside with Silvers and usually Butler.
Ja'Cour Pearson wrapped up. Got about half a yard. Well, they're going to spot this out across the first down marker.
Yeah, did he maybe land or kind of roll across the defender there? I wonder if he even hit the turf as they were kind of rolling down to the ground. Watches Pearson as he's spinning down out of the backfield. Tough to cover him from that opposite side. Watch, does he? No, his knee was down. That spot should be well short. That knee was down short of the line to gain. It should be 4th down and 2. That ball was all the way back at about the 25.
Anthony! Coach. Anthony! It's 4th down. There's no timeout. I'm going to fire the clock back up. Mike, look at 4th and 2.
4th and 2? It's 4th and 2?
27.
Kick the field goal. Field goal, field goal, field goal, field goal, field goal.
So they stopped the clock for a measurement, and now they realized it was not a 4th down, not a first down, so it'll be 4th down.
The previous play has been reviewed, and replay has determined that the ball carrier was short of the line to gain. It's 4th down.
Yeah, and it was too. I know it looks, you hear that and you're like, whoa, that's wild, but his knee was down. The ball was at the 25. It's an excellent job by Mike. And now there's another flag on the field as they're trying to get their kicking unit out there to kick a field goal. Make this a two-possession game.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense number 15, his first of the game. 15-yard penalty with an automatic first down.
Jordan Williams, during the break in the action, we didn't get a chance to see it, but obviously I was saying or doing something that he shouldn't have been, obviously.
I don't care what was said to him.
Right close, 12 duo, F bubble, Owen, ready, pistol.
That is absolutely remarkable.
So instead of 4th and 2 and lining up for a field goal, it's 1st and goal from the 10.
Wide 80, wide 80 set.
Jarvian Howard stutter steps. It'll be 2nd and goal inside the 5.
I'm speechless here because you did everything right.
Yep.
You stopped them. They're going to kick a field goal, and to do something like that again. Obviously he felt wronged in some way and retaliates, but that just put the entire team at a disadvantage. The entire team at a disadvantage.
And you can see they're still trying to get him under control on the sideline.
Send him into the locker room. If you're going to fight the whole team, you already put the team in the bad position. Being selfish, send them to the locker room.
Howard bouncing outside, dragged down from behind by Mosley.
Well, now this defense has got to try to regroup here and get a crucial stop here on a 3rd down. I know it's tough with the limited roster, but, you know, I mean, that's totally uncalled for. Again, I don't care what happened to him.
And not only that, you've got one of your best defenders standing on the sideline because you're trying to get his head back in the game. He leads the league in tackles coming into today.
Set. Wide 80, wide 80 set.
Here comes the pressure. Tipped, and it falls incomplete. Devontae Beckett got a hand on it. And it'll be a 4th down, and so it looks like they're going to bring the field goal unit back out. And in the end, this may be no harm, no foul.
Yeah, because they were attempting the field goal anyways, and Anthony Beck just trying to get that 2-possession lead here with an 8-point advantage. Beautiful job by Devontae Beckett. He's all over the field all the time, bats that ball away.
There's Blankenship. Already made one from 21, this from 23. He's 2 for 2 tonight. 19 for 20 on the season. And as you said, most importantly, makes the 2-possession ball game here late in the 3rd quarter. Tonight's game is sponsored by Dr. Pepper. Try new Dr. Pepper Blackberry and Dr. Pepper Blackberry Zero Sugar today. And by Liberty Mutual Insurance, only pay for what you need. Well, Jordan Williams over on the sideline as we try to figure out exactly what happened to get him called for this personal foul. We bring in Mike Pereira. Mike.
Yeah, he was actually upset that we didn't rule the runner down at the 25, that the official covering the play thought he rolled over the top without being down. So he was upset about that. We then moved it. We moved it back to the spot, and he wouldn't let up. He kept yakking at the official. The official did tell him, that's enough, no more. And then he came back at him again, and so that's when he threw the flag.
All right, so now he's on the sideline with an opportunity to kind of catch his breath, calm down. They wind up getting the field goal anyway.
I guess no harm, no foul, except for
it could have been much worse.
You know, the entire feeling of, you know, what's going on in that defense now, because again, you kind of erode the trust that you have with your teammates.
Sean Fresh with the return. All right,
Kurt, this has been an offensive showdown.
It has
tonight. Been. I can tell you that. I know that, you know, it doesn't look like that necessarily for San Antonio on the scoreboard, but they had a 4th down, you know, that they gave the ball up. They had a fumble that went back for 6 the other way. No punts tonight. Either team, you know, so each team, when they step on the field, they've been able to move the ball down the field, and then it's just about executing, converting on 4th down, and holding on to the football.
From the 30, Corbin, 5 yards on that run. Well, the head coach Peyton Pardee.
So what did you say?
It's 4th down. He kept telling me it's 4th down. He was down, it's 4th down. And he got mad at me because I told him he was wrong. I said, you're wrong, and it's 4th down. And that's where you threw a flag on me.
Okay, don't talk to the refs like that. We good? All right.
So basically confirming just what Mike said. He's saying it should have been 4th down.
The original first.
And the official not liking him staying on it. Nonetheless, that's over, and Mond completes another. I mean, that's just zipped right in there to Marquez Stevenson.
Devin,
8 yards.
Devin, these throws, like you've been saying all night, like we've been talking about, they're just on the money.
I mean, it's kind of a joy to watch down here. I'm sad that you don't get to be up close, because I know you love good football and good quarterbacking. I mean, this is a passer that we're seeing right here. And when I talked to Coach Pardee, he said he thinks that it really helped get a chance to watch. And he said his preparation has just been phenomenal since he was benched, and you're seeing the product of it right now.
There's Corbin, tackle right at the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard on the play. You know, we've watched Mon all night long. The numbers don't really show it. He's 11 of 16, only 95 yards. His longest pass is 15. But it seems as though every time they need a play, he makes a play.
Yep. Ace left, Silver, X-Bow, Z Henry on a silent Johnny. Ready? Johnny.
And he just seems in control throughout this game. With time. Kind of sidearm that one, and he's lucky that didn't get intercepted by Miles Jones.
Well, Jacob Harris, it looked like he slipped out there or something. He came out of his break quite awkwardly over on the right side, so he's going to be running a curl route over on this side. And look as he tries to break out of it, and he clearly slipped. Mond, again, anticipating like he has all night long. You expect your wide receiver to be there, and Harris was unable to hit the spot.
H-Lake, H-Motor spread, H-Lake on a silent one. Ready?
I'm wondering what happens as it sets up the 3rd and 10. Out to Stevenson, running sideline to sideline, and that's going to be a 1-yard gain when they need a 10, and it won't even be close.
That's going to bring up, I believe, our first punt of the night. And this
I knew as soon as you said it.
Yeah,
I knew it.
This Battlehawks defense finally does it. I did it. The announcer's jinx gets you.
Here's Brad Wing, longtime punter in the NFL, most recently with the Giants. And a high kick by the lefty. And it rolls out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. Well, they're still walking. We'll see where they spot it officially when we come back. Well, this Sunday, the greatest spectacle in racing, the Indianapolis 500, kicks off the summer. The pre-race is going to be a party like we've never seen before, with 350,000 fans at Indy and stars everywhere like Tom Brady, Michael Strahan, Derek Jeter, and that's all before the green flag drops. Memorial Day weekend and the Indy 500 for the first time together Sunday, right here on Fox. You want to talk about a race? How about this race, the MVP race in the UFL? Jordan Ta'amu and Bryce Perkins, they've kind of been going back and forth. Washington's Ta'amu leads the league in passing yards and touchdowns. Perkins leads the league in yards per attempt and rushing touchdowns. Head-to-head, Perkins and the Panthers dominated DC when they met head-to-head in Week 6. And they will get a chance to go at it head-to-head in the postseason in a couple of weeks.
Here we go. Step. The trips left.
St. Louis knows they're already in there. They will take on DC in 2 weeks in the XFL Conference Championship game in St. Louis.
Wide 80, wide 80 set.
Brandon Silver's second possession. Out of the backfield, Jarvie and Howard, the big man. Lowering a shoulder, doing everything else. Chris Steele probably wishes he weren't the first guy to meet him.
Ooh, I'll tell you what, you said that exactly right. 220 pounds meeting him on the sideline. There was no run out of bounds here for Jarvion Howard. He lowers his shoulder once, lowers his shoulder twice, and gets all the way up close to a first down. Good ball by Silvers, and Howard looks like he's going to be playing the bulk of this second half along with Silvers, as Max Duggan and Jacob Sailors look like they're going to be resting the rest of the evening.
Howard on 2nd and 1 gets a lot more than that. One man not going to bring him down as he fights his way all the way out to the 45 for a 12-yard pickup.
I tell you, you can never fault Howard about his effort.
No.
You know, and he is always running hard. In fact, sometimes that's the thing that works against him, is he's constantly fighting for extra yardage. And last week, in one of those attempts when he was fighting for extra yardage, as Max Duggan is loving it on the sidelines, that's when he was stripped of the football and actually lost the football. So as long as he is secure with that ball security, you know, fight for those extra yards, but that's the only risk.
You saw what he could do in Week 1 when he had 115 yards rushing. Silvers complete. Pearson into San Antonio territory. And a first down for the Battlehawks on that big gain of 24.
Well, I tell you, I mean, Silvers can throw this football now. He is a guy that has, all the way back to college, thrown it well. And here, just like this layered ball out there to Pearson. And he does a great job. He played at Troy, speaking of Silvers, Troy. And where he started 48 games for them back in like 2014 to 17. That was the last 3 years for head coach Neil Brown. They had a couple of upsets there with Troy, and he played really well.
Here's Kevion Latulis, his first carry of the night, and he picks up another first.
Second year with this team. He did get in a game last year for St. Louis. Out of Missouri, Missouri State and Kilgore College. This is his second year with the team, and now finally getting an opportunity to get in here and get some run.
He's only played in 2 games, this being the second, both against San Antonio this year. 5 carries for 12 yards back in week 2. 1 for 10 now. Silvers, you said he's no Duggan?
He even chuckled. Did you hear him chuckle there as he went down? He's like, okay.
Yeah, this is not my strength, right?
That's right. Oh,
but it takes us to the end of the third quarter. And what has been an exciting game for both offenses. Right now, St. Louis still on top. 24-13 is week 9 of the UFL. Comes a quarter closer to a close. Well, if you're wondering what the UFL Championship odds are right now, okay, they started the season, Birmingham, 3-time Spring League champion, favored, but right now, they're the 3rd favorite, if you will. Michigan and St. Louis ahead of them. Of course, the UFL Championship game coming up in a couple of weeks. We've got the conference championships in just 2 weeks, Michigan and Birmingham. And the Defenders will take on the Battlehawks here in St. Louis. That game June 8th right here on Fox.
Here we go.
St. Louis trying to get their 7th win of the season, matching their total from last year. Brandon Silver's on in relief at quarterback.
Here we go. Set. 180. 180 set.
Here comes the blitz. First play of the 4th quarter. Silvers. Oh, wide open. Butler. Touchdown. It's not going to get much easier than that.
No, what a great double move. And I thought Silvers he just sold the pump fake. I mean, just a full pump fake on the outside, and he sells this double move. So you see that, just a little slant and go, and the ball is up right away, and it's an easy touchdown for Butler. Watch this, he totally sells it. That ball even comes separated from his offhand a little bit, and the corner bites on that side. Sean Fresh and Phil McGagan loving it, just giving a little shimmy up in the press box.
It's Sean Fresh's first game as an active player all season long, and they've gone after him.
Yeah, that's the matchup that they have attacked, and they've done it really well.
So 22-yard score, they'll try and add the 2-point conversion.
Set. 180. 180 set. Hey. Oh, he can't do it.
Timeout. St. Louis, they're first. 30 seconds.
So they use a timeout on a 2-point conversion attempt. Up by 17.
I don't know. We had no clue what the hell he said. White screen, yeah. Yeah, no one could know what that was. Yeah. So I was like, fuck it, Purdue. Thanks, buddy.
Right now we're playing a game with points, tiebreakers. That's what we're trying to make sure.
I know, but like, give me something that like I can fuck with. Feel me?
No flag screen. You never did that.
Yeah.
No, he's not good with that. We got hurt.
I'm like,
you don't even know what that is.
Sure.
So the quarterback's coach, Seneca Wallace, longtime NFL player, talking with Brandon Silvers there, and you can hear them say that playing the tiebreaker game just in case they wind up tied with DC for the conference championship.
Zone that shit. Hey, triangle.
Total points and point differential will factor in. So that's why they're going for 2. And they don't get it. Ja'Cour Pearson can't get across the goal line, but the touchdown is still good. And it's a nice, beautiful, easy loft. From Brandon Silvers to a wide open Hakeem Butler, it's 30-13.
Yeah, let them go to TV. They've gone to TV.
After further review, the 2-point try was good.
St. Louis so efficient on offense. Mike Pereira, they got points during the timeout. Mike?
Yeah, was this a play that we're looking at right here? As you actually see, he gets control of the ball, and the ball is breaking the plane. Now, he's driven back into the field to play, but as long as he maintains control, then he gets credit for this catch. And so it is a touchdown, and it is an extra point successful try, and we reversed it during the break.
All right, Mike Pereira in the Verizon Command Center saying the two-point conversion is good, and so now it's a 32-13 lead.
Well, and this offense just has played well all night long. You know, whether it was with Max Duggan and Jacob Sailors in the ball game, or now with Brandon Silvers and Jarvion Howard. You've got Butler making plays down the field, Shakir Pearson with that nice conversion there. And you can see, you know, the different element that Silvers brings, which is, you know, that pure passing ability. There are times, you know, he's got that little double move slant route to Butler. If I'm Max Duggan, I'm like, hey, can I throw a double move? Can you give me a play call or two?
Jay DeSheridan out across the 30-yard line. Let's check in on the sideline with Devin.
Yeah, I'm down here on the field with Hakeem Butler, but we got a group of people. Hakeem, what is going on here?
You know, me and my O-lineman, we go out every weekend before the game, and I told him I was going to do the interview with them, so I'm making good on my promise.
And you told me before the game that you were for sure going to get in the end zone. How about making good on that promise? And talk about the art of the double move.
Well, we've been greasing it up for him like the whole time, and the corner was just really ready. That's how I say it in nice terms, and he bit, and so it was kind of easy from there. Great ball from Brandon.
Is there anything else you want to say, or anybody else that needs to speak?
Yeah, you know, all my guys. Who wants to? How do you feel about the game so far?
Hey, we're running the ball. We're doing well on offense. Defense
is professional. That's too professional. How do you feel about the game?
Hey, man, we just out here running the football.
We need to keep throwing the ball. Let's go. Back to you.
Give me this. Back to you guys. That's my job. What are you doing?
Yeah, in case you can't figure it out, the receiver wants to throw, the lineman want to run.
That's great, right?
It's too professional.
Of a locker room right there.
There you
right?
go.
Oh, man.
Hey, when you're winning, you could laugh, right? Robbins. And the defense gets a stop, brings up third down.
I just give a lot of credit to Anthony Beck. I mean, he's built a really good culture with St. Louis. They've been good several years in a row now, Kurt, and he's built good continuity on his staff. He's an excellent football coach. He is demanding at the right times. Clearly, his players feel like they have ownership of the locker room, and I just think that he's built something really special in St. Louis, and now what he's looking at is, how do I take the next step? You know, not only as a head coach myself, but this team, as they force another incompletion there on 3rd and 3, and now San Antonio will have to punt it away again here in the 4th. And that next step would be not only getting to the championship game of the XFL, but getting to the championship game of the UFL, and then taking home a championship. And that's what he's going to be looking at. You know, coming into tonight's ball game, he's 20-8 as a head coach of this franchise. He has done a really good job, and you can see in this league, you know, to put it this way, like the separation of the organizations that have stability at that position and the ones that don't.
Shakir Pearson steps out just across the 20. Well, Hakeem Butler scored the last time he touched the ball. Can they continue to extend the lead as they look to start racking up points? Thinking about the future. Tonight's game is sponsored by Ace, the helpful place. Tonight's game is sponsored by Ace, the helpful place, and by Verizon. And we've seen St. Louis be efficient and effective with both quarterbacks. Devin Gardner's with the guy who's their quarterback coach.
Yes, I am, Kurt. And Seneca, we talked a little bit about being an anticipatory thrower. Obviously, every quarterback should be, but with a longer delivery, you got to be a little bit quicker with your anticipation. Talk about the growth you saw today from Max Duggan.
I saw a lot of growth with him. I mean, it starts with his feet. You got to give or take. If you're elongated with your throwing motion, you got to be consistent with your feet. And that's one thing I've been harping on him, just throwing things on time. And like you said, anticipating the throws. But a lot of his college quarterbacks, they struggle with that. And it's the speed of the game and throwing guys open.
So we've seen Silvers for extended period of time for the first time today. Assess how he's played today.
Well, I mean, he's a pro. He stepped in a couple weeks ago. He understands this system, and he's a system quarterback. And the one thing with him, he doesn't have elongated release. So you can kind of struggle a little bit with the lack of movement, but that's where Max gives us a really good one. Like right now, we just did a double move, and we didn't hit it, but he does a really good job of just playing the game.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach.
You got it. Thank you.
Yeah, well, Akeem Butler told us that they were greasing these double moves up, and now they're trying it again here, this time with Ja'Cour Pearson. This is going to be an out and up, and there you see the bite from the corner. That's William Hooper on the outside, and they almost have it there. That ball was underthrown by Silvers and gets contacted low right after he threw that ball.
180, 187.
They hand it off. Latulis, first down and more. It doesn't matter who's at running back right now for this St. Louis team either.
No, that's because those O-linemen are asking to run the football, right? Asking you shall receive, and here they go up front again. Great job of getting color locked up. Good cut by Latulis. I tell you, he found that cut all the way back to his left side. Good vision right there, and again, the offensive line coach, Mark Colombo, has got to be thrilled with the way his 5 guys up front have been playing.
16 yards on that run. Latulis again. Breaks a tackle and winds up picking up 5 on the run. Devin.
Hey, Joe, if you remember early in the season when we talked to Coach Anthony Beck, he said that, yeah, we got a few guys that are backups on the offensive line that are actually starters. Well, right now we're seeing some of those backups, and they're still able to run the ball effectively like we've seen them run the ball all season. So that, it sounded like coach speak in the beginning of the season, but it's very clear that he really felt that way and that it was a true statement.
Yeah, right now Donovan West has slid over, and he's the center. Cole Spencer, 76, is in at right guard, so some shifting going on up front, and yet they're still able to cover up those defensive linemen and run the ball well right there over the right guard. That one was right over Cole Spencer, and Latulis again, Kurt, with a quality run, this time for a first down.
Here's gain of 9 there. They've got 134 yards rushing.
Look at this double team right there, and Cole Spencer, number 76, that is just a great man-to-man block. Tight ends blocking well. That was Chase Allen, number 87 in your screen. And this team, this looks a lot like week 1. We had this team when they were at Houston, and they started to do this and really run the ball effectively, and they're doing it again here tonight.
You mentioned the rush stats. No sacks allowed by this offensive line, and not much pressure really either. Howard back in the ball game, pushing guys around, including his own lineman, and give him 5.
What I like, and this is again a credit to Anthony Beck and Mark Colombo, is that they don't major in just one style of run game. You know, it's not just the RPO or the zone read running the quarterback. They can run power, pulling guards and tight ends. They can run duo with double teams working up, in particular to the backside. They can run straight zone. They can run toss. You know, so they have this whole repertoire of ways that they can run the football, and that's a very pro-oriented run game.
Howard again, moving the pile again, and once again a first down.
And this is, again, what I'm talking about here. Watch this fold block by the tight end. He's just going to come and fold himself right into the interior. So the offensive line, they're all man-to-man right there, and then you leave the linebacker for the tight end, Chase Allen, and he just folds himself right into that hole, blocks the linebacker, and now it's on the back to have the vision and pick the gap that he wants to run in. And that's where Latulis has been making good decisions. Howard has been making good decisions. And, of course, Sailors, we know how good he is.
Best running team in the league, running well tonight.
180, 180 set.
Silvers pump fakes. He's got Pearson, overthrew him. Just out of his reach.
Well, that's like the 4th double move that they've run out here, all on the right side. This is William Hooper. They got Sean Fresh earlier, and again, Hooper right here, he jumps on it, and just out of the reach of Ja'Cour Pearson.
There we go.
This is a defense that, quite frankly, is a shell of its former self. This was the best defense in the league last year. They were #1 in almost every single category. They were #1 in scoring total, pass, third down, sacks. This year, they're last in scoring total, rush defense, third down defense. It's just been a totally different year.
But they do a good job stopping the run right here. That's Corey Mayfield chasing down Latulis in the backfield.
Mayfield into the backfield quickly. I believe this is Mayfield out here as he just knifes in, and there's no one to account for him. Latulis is trying to run away from him, but just can't run away from Mayfield, who had that head start, gets his legs, and down to the ground he goes.
Hey, Corey, I'm coming to you.
Set.
I'm coming to you.
180, 180 set.
Got it.
Silvers to the sideline. Darby gets away. Ball came out. San Antonio looks like they recovered. Jordan Williams, who had that penalty earlier in the half, with the big fumble recovery that's going to give the ball back to the Brahmas.
Fighting for extra yards. Touched on it earlier. This time it's Chris Steele, number 22. Swings that right arm around and punches the ball out. San Antonio, nice turnover on defense.
UFL Week 9 continues tomorrow with a doubleheader on ABC. First, it's Arlington taking on Memphis. That comes your way at noon Eastern Time, followed by Michigan against Birmingham. Then we will be back to cap off the weekend with DC against Houston at 4 o'clock Eastern, right here on Fox. With Jordan Williams, this is how it looks to recover a fumble.
Ball, ball, ball. You're like a squirrel. Or a dog, I guess, whatever it is. You know, those defenders, they just live for that moment when the ball pops loose.
First turnover of the night for St. Louis. give San Antonio the ball at the 33-yard line. Handoff taken by Corbin. Give him 6 yards.
I do have to say, you know, this St. Louis defense, they came into tonight as one of the better defenses in the league. You know, second in scoring defense in the UFL. There's Donnie Abraham, the defensive coordinator. They've only given up 13 points. They scored a touchdown themselves when Donnie's son Micah scoop and score. You know, last week, remember, they gave up those 3 long passing touchdowns to Birmingham, and they have not given that up tonight. They have done a really solid job getting back to that blueprint of being quality, rushing the passer, and there's another one.
Well, they knocked that one down. Phil Hoskins tipped that one at the line of scrimmage.
Hoskins runs right up into this right side of Kellen Mond. You can see he gets that big right hand up, bats that ball away. And looping around, never stop. It's a nice little PBU.
And they're looking to get one more stop here on 3rd down. Pressure. Mon throwing on the run. Couldn't get enough on it to keep it in bounds. Intended for Jontre Kirkland. And then we'll turn it over on downs.
Yeah, and a good play by Miles Jones there, the corner, who is step for step. And you know what we haven't talked about are the corners from St. Louis yet, and that's a good thing for Anthony Beck. Even though Kirkland has a step here and he's got to slow down, that ball kind of brings the defense back, but Miles Jones was able to recover. Then he bats that ball away. You had Nick Whiteside out there, Miles Jones, Micah Abraham. They've had to play a lot of football because of some injuries out there, and now getting a chance for a 4th down stop here inside of 6 minutes.
Yeah, San Antonio going to go for it. Pressure again, underneath. D. Anderson stopped way short of the 1st down. Mike Rose, the first guy to get there. Now they turn it over on downs. And so the turnover by St. Louis doesn't hurt them as they get the ball back. Still holding on to that big lead and trying to go to 7-2 on the season.
We've been talking about this offensive line tonight. 143 yards on the ground, over 5 yards per carry. And they have just done a great job of being physical at the point of attack and then allowing these backs to find the openings and run the football. You've got physical running from Jarvion Howard down at the goal line. Beautiful vision right there from Kevon Latulis. He's able to jump over to the left side and get down the field. And Mark Colombo has got to be thrilled with what his team has done, and in particular his offensive line. And we made this point before, but Kurt, again, nobody has depth in this league at the offensive line position, and yet they do at St. Louis. It's a testament to their scouting department, to Anthony Becht and Mark Colombo poring over film, finding these guys. They bring in all of these guys, and they have built a unit up front, this offensive line, that I think is the best offensive line in the UFL.
And they certainly played like it tonight. Latulis can't quite get around the edge. Short pickup, maybe a yard. And you saw the stats, 143 yards rushing, but just as impressive. No sacks. There hadn't been a lot of pressure either. I mean, so it's not like the quarterbacks have gotten away.
And if I'm not mistaken, they have not committed an offensive line penalty.
No penalties at all for St. Louis.
And that's remarkable in and of itself. No penalties on this St. Louis team. This is, you know, it's hard to do that, you know, with the limited roster size and the limited practices that they're able to have. They basically have about one period of full practice a week. And everything else is generally in walkthrough pace and a lot of study habit type of things, as we were talking to Anthony Becht. But this team, they've got depth. They've got to feel like they're in a great position. Silvers is giving them depth at the quarterback position. Latulis and Howard are giving them depth at the running back position. The offensive line has, you know, starters and backups that can all play effectively, and that's just on the offensive side. And their offense isn't even the best unit on the team.
Right.
The defense is. So, you know, Becht has got to be feeling very good about where his team is sitting and the way that they're playing here moving into Week 10.
And they get another first down as Blake Jackson has a nice run after the catch, and they will wrap up the regular season. St. Louis will next week at DC. They still have a chance to win the XFL Conference. They know they will play DC in the championship game for the XFL Conference, but that game's going to be right back here at home, where, barring a miracle, they're going to win tonight and be 5-1 during the regular season.
I'm just really interested to see how he decides to play that game, you know, without home field on the line, because of the schedule and how things are going to play out. That game is going to be in St. Louis regardless. You know, who plays quarterback, who plays running back? Do we see Sailors? How about Latulis?
Runs like that will certainly make its case. Kevon Latulis, 23-yard score. And it's now a wide 3-score margin for the Battlehawks.
Tell you what, it doesn't matter who comes in to run the football. Latulis, great vision right down the middle of this defense. We've seen that a couple of times, whether it's been Howard or Sailors, and now it's Latulis. And he takes this right down the middle. And there was a couple of missed tackles in there from San Antonio. Not great on that side. But boy, when you're running hard and your offensive line is winning the line of scrimmage, good things happen.
Set. Wide 80. Wide 80. Set.
Latulis again gets it. Well, you said it doesn't matter who runs the football. This offensive line has been dominant tonight for St. Louis.
Love to see that. Teammates giving Latulis some love here. And again, watch the patience, and then he's just going to explode right down the middle of the defense. Great job up front, sealing things off, and then some poor effort and tackling on the outside. There's no doubt. There was a couple of players there in the defensive secondary that had a shot. But again, it's just running hard. Latulis cuts right down the middle of the defense and forces them to make a play, and he gets right up the field and into the end zone ultimately. And again, this St. Louis team over 400 yards of offense tonight. That's the second time this year they've been over 400 yards. They did that in Week 1 against Houston, and this game has been eerily similar to that night against the Roughnecks.
Yeah, we did that game in Houston Week 1, and what we saw, like we see tonight, was dominant offensive line play. They were able to run the ball. They were able to protect their quarterback, who was Manny Wilkins at the time, but they're doing the exact same thing tonight here as they get ready to wrap up the regular season. Sheridan Here's a look at what they have done tonight on their offense. 7 possessions, 6 scores.
Wow.
Most points in the UFL this season.
It's exactly what Anthony Beck wanted to see. And we talked with him and asked him about, like, hey, how are you going to approach this week? You know, you're in the postseason. And he made a really great point. First of all, there's just the pride of being a football player and the camaraderie of playing for one another. You know, and the other guys are counting on you to do your job, and so you got to go do your job. There's clearly some of that. There's also someone might turn on this film. You never know who's going to turn on the film and be impressed with a play, an effort, a block, a run, a throw, a catch, whatever it is. And that's the way you make a career for yourself in this sport. You want to be a professional football player, you better have pride in your work and go put great tape out there. And that's exactly what St. Louis has done here tonight. They're 6-2, didn't need to come out here and win, and yet not only did they win, but they've put together maybe the most complete performance that they've had all season long.
Very little doubt about that. Certainly since week 1. Mon hit as he throws, no chance on that one. The defense has played well tonight. The offense we've talked about. I mean, it's been a complete offensive and defensive and team performance here, Devin.
Yeah, and it's because of this offensive line. Coach, we've seen a number of different players come in, and you guys haven't missed a beat. You almost improved. How is this happening?
They're just a really tough group. They work really hard in practice. They work together. We have great runners. We got receivers that buy into the run game. They're out there blocking really hard. They get excited. They come off the field. They tell me we got a really good group.
If you had to run one more duo, are you capable of doing it?
I could run duo all day. Okay, all day.
Duo all day. Thanks,
Devin,
Coach.
You got
ask him what he benches. Ask him what he can still bench.
Kurt wants to know, can you still bench and how much?
I do push-ups now. I do push-ups now.
At your size, though.
At one point, 535 was my most.
Okay, I'm going to leave now before you bench press me off the thing.
Not these days.
He's still an animal. That's why we're the best O-line in the league.
You heard it here first. Best O-line in the league.
I guarantee you he knows. He may be playing shy, but he knows.
The 2-minute warning.
We've reached the 2-minute warning. Mark Colombo can smile on that sideline because it's been a night that his Battlehawks have shown out. All right, the top teams have separated themselves, and the UFL playoff field is all set. We've got the XFL Conference Championship game coming to you 2 weeks from this Sunday. On June 8th, it'll be the DC Defenders right here taking on the St. Louis Battlehawks. It all kicks off at 6 o'clock Eastern Time, only on Fox. And these two teams have been the best in the XFL Conference all season long. Michigan and Birmingham will meet for the USFL Conference Championship game earlier on the same day. Look at that number, best since week 1. They start off the season in style, and they're finishing up that way right now.
I'll tell you, it's been, regardless of who's been in on offense, they've been playing well.
That's Greg Ward with the reception. Down inside 2 minutes. And one of the things that has been impressive, we've talked so much about how well this offensive line has played. But, you know, Joel, we've seen the St. Louis team the last couple of years in spring football. And this may be the best defense that they've had under Anthony Becht.
I think it is. Yeah, I think you're exactly right. They've got pass rushers, quality linebacker play.
And you get to see that pass rush right there. Chris Garrett coming in, bringing the pressure.
You know, and they came into tonight with a couple of players on IR. They lost Chris Payton-Jones, a corner, Isaiah Mack, a defensive tackle. They lost him to IR, and they don't miss a beat.
No.
And we've seen that on offense and defense. Big reason is that guy right there, number 7, Peter Taumuapenu, and his running mate on the opposite side, Travis Feeney. Those guys really make it go because of the pressure they put on opposing offenses, rushing the passer, and in particular in a situation like this on a 4th down. That's offside.
Hang on. Got 2 flags down here. Delay game.
I was wondering if they got that snap off in time.
Okay, delay game offense. Okay. Option here.
And obviously, if they didn't, then there's no offside.
Hang on. Got it. Delay game. Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
There's the play clock. Bottom middle of your screen, and there's the 0, and then the jump down there by Chris Garrett, number 48. So that clock had hit 0 already. Peter's laughing at the defense, at Chris Garrett.
And then he found out there's no penalty. So still no penalty for the Battlehawks all night, right?
Oh, no, he did it again. He did it again.
They're even having fun on the sideline right now. Jacob Pearson with the grab.
Offside. Defense, number 48. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
So they go all game with no penalties. And Chris Garrett gets out there and jumps like he's in the 100-yard dash of the Olympics. Like it's
not only all game, they gave him a free one on the previous play.
Yeah, that's right.
And he still jumps offside again.
That's right.
Here we go. Here we go. Hey, sin right here. Spread, blue check, slow.
Well,
X drag on a silent Johnny.
gets in the stat column tonight.
Yep. So when he says silent Johnny, that means that the left guard's going to reach out his arm, and then the center's going to bob his head. They're trying to get him to jump again. And then it's a kind of a little delay. Bob his head, and then they wait, and then he bobs his head again.
4th and 5. Garrett makes up for that previous penalty with the sack. First sack for either team tonight.
See, he didn't need the head start. He could just beat him on the rush right there. And here he is on the outside, and he just runs around the running back. You cannot block defensive ends with running backs. You just can't do it. They can get in there for linebackers, but not defensive ends. And Chris Garrett, he's able to just run around the running back and get to the quarterback, Kellen Mond, and it's a sack.
That should just about officially put it in the books. Brandon Silvers will come on to run out the clock. And St. Louis will go to 7-2 on the season. Night-night.
Impressive from Anthony Becht in this group.
Good game, man.
Defense only gave up 95 yards through the air. They had a takeaway. They scored a touchdown. They got a 4th down stop. Only allowed 13 points. And that offense was hitting on all cylinders. 7 yards per play on the offensive side.
Impressive.
Here we go.
And so the Battlehawks
Turbo, set.
will go to 7-2 on the season. They matched their win total from last year. And they've got one more game left in the regular season where they would take on DC next week on the road, knowing that they're already in the XFL championship game, which will be played in 2 weeks back here in St. Louis. The winner moves on to the UFL championship game. So congratulations to Anthony Becht. He finished the home schedule 5-1 this year as well. Best home record in the UFL. And his program just continues to grow year in
Coach,
and year out.
best of luck to you, man. Yeah, absolutely. Did a hell of a job in that situation, man. This whole season, did a hell of a job. You guys fight hard, man. Have a good one, okay?
And now he's the wise sage. Max Duggan was the starting quarterback tonight. He started 5 games for St. Louis, won all 5 of them. And right now he's with our Devin Gardner.
Thanks, Kurt. 4-0 coming into today. Your backup quarterback made sure that it was 5-0 as a starter. And when we talked to Coach Becht, he said he wanted to see consistent improvement. And today it was clear that there was improvement. How do you feel today went?
Yeah, you know, you just want to get better each week moving into the playoffs. And I think guys did a great job tonight. You know, receivers, O-line, running backs, you know, Brandon coming in. Guys were just flying around, playing loose, having fun. Defense, special teams, making plays. So it was great to see, you know, for us today.
What does it look like for this future, the future of this team in the playoffs with the offensive line, the depth at running back, and backup quarterback? Everybody play well. How do you think you guys fare moving forward?
Yeah, Coach Becht just says, you know, take it one day at a time, one game at a time. Just continue to improve throughout the week in each games, and you know, make sure that we're working our best.
Good luck the rest of the season.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Kurt.
A complete total team effort tonight in the 39-13 victory for the St. Louis Battlehawks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more post-game coverage. Don't say goodbye yet. No, we're going to be back. All right, the start of the season, everybody was on the Birmingham Stallions, and why not? They won 3 consecutive Spring League championships. But right now, Week 9 is, coming into Week 9. Michigan was the favorite. St. Louis, second on the list, ahead of Birmingham and D.C. And right now, I tell you, the way, Joel, this St. Louis team is playing, second may not be good enough.
I tell you, man. And there's a lot of teams that are playing well.
All right, here's a look at the rest of the schedule for the weekend. Arlington and Memphis tomorrow, and Michigan and Birmingham. They'll play tomorrow and then again in the USFL Conference Championship game in 2 weeks before DC takes on Houston tomorrow on Fox. All right, 39-13. St. Louis goes to 7-2 on the season. The UFL is back on Sunday with that DC-Houston matchup. We'll see you then.